Hey. All right. So if you find yourself thinking, I'm just too busy to exercise, eat healthy, then listen up, my friend. This one's for you. I'm Heather Thatcher, registered nurse, Reiki master, and the Vitality Lifeguard, and I help busy women prioritize their health without overhauling their lifestyle. Today, we're going to talk about just that. We're going to talk about how you can find the time in your packed, solid schedule to still take care of yourself. Because really, when you think about it, that's exactly what eating right and exercising and relaxing and nurturing yourself is all about. So right now in society, we have so much pressure on us to be everything for everyone and everything for every aspect of our life. And if we have any hope of living up to these standards, these high imposed standards, it's very easy for us to think that something has to give. And it's also really easy for us to think that we don't have time to take care of ourselves and to honor our bodies with movement and nutrient-rich food and stress management. No. We just deprioritize our health in order to make room for everything else. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this today is because I also need this reminder right now. I am working 12-hour day and night shifts as a pediatric intensive care nurse. I run an online business. I'm a fur baby to 4 fur babies. My fiance and I are getting married in 5 months in another city. And I still have to keep up with day-to-day life things like laundry, cooking, grocery shopping, sleeping. So, if you are feeling stretched to the limit and that you're busier than you have ever been in your entire life, I've got you. I am there. And I don't think I've ever quite had this many things going on at once, which is a lot to say because definitely when I was in university, I was managing a lot of things, maybe too many things all at once. But right now, I have to say, I found balance. Which kind of shocks me right now when I think of all that I've got going on and I'm still finding that balance. And so the catalyst for that balance and that feeling of being really settled is prioritizing myself, prioritizing my own self-care. And so by ultimate self-care, what I mean is exercising, eating right for the most part, yoga, meditation, reading, journaling, snuggling with my kitties or my dog, and just spending time with Dustin, going rock climbing, all those kinds of things. And if I have time to do all of these things, plus keep up with all my responsibilities and full-time 12-hour shift work, you can do this too. And I'm going to tell you how. This week, I also have a free resource that's going to walk you through all of the different steps that I'm going to talk about today. So you can either get it by email or by Facebook Messenger. So if you're watching on Instagram, click the link in my bio to get the download. And if you're watching on Facebook, just type in "I need more time" into the comments and it'll be sent straight to your Facebook Messenger. So that's "I need more time." Type that into the comments on Facebook and it'll appear right away. So let's get into it now. How do we prioritize our health without overhauling our lifestyle so that we can just find balance? Because that's the dream, right? We all want to feel like balanced and in control and like we know what's going on. So step 1 is to figure out where the heck all of your time is going right now. So in the workbook, I have a sheet for you to help figure out how much time you think per week you're spending on each of the activities that I've listed out. And if you want to take this one step further, you could actually just pay attention during your week and fill it out exactly. So for example, I have a section for housework. And maybe you think you spend 2 hours per week on housework. But you could start to tally and go with like, I did the dishes for 30 minutes. So you write that down. I spent about an hour on laundry. You write that down. However long it takes for you to vacuum and tidy up, write that down. And at the end of the week, you can add it all together and get an even better idea of where you think your time is going. Either way, you're going to get a general idea of where your time goes in the big, broad categories. But if you're more into apps, I have some apps listed out there in the freebie, both for Android and Apple, that kind of really streamline this whole process for you because the one which I use right now, I have an Android phone. Every time I go into my lock screen, it's just like, all right, what were you up to since the last time you checked in? And then I can just like put it all in and then it adds it up for me, gives me a report. It's awesome. All right, so if you want that free resource in Instagram, just click the link in my bio. Again, if you're on Facebook, just type in "I need more time" and it'll come up for you. Okay, so step 2 is you got to pick one or two things that you want to start making time for. So let's say that you want to make more time for exercise. You want to try to get to the gym or a yoga class or a fitness class 2 days a week. That sounds like a really good starting goal. Because remember, you don't want to overhaul your lifestyle. You don't want to go from like not doing anything to doing something 7 days a week. You want to sort of step yourself into it. So you're going to do one class 2 days a week. Sounds good. The class itself is 60 minutes. So you're going to need 2 hours in that week. But it's also going to take you 15 minutes to kind of get your stuff together, 20 minutes to drive to the class, 20 minutes to drive home. So in total, you need an extra hour and 45 minutes for each class, or an extra 3.5 hours per week. Which sounds like a lot, but when you look at it in your schedule, you may find that it's actually not that bad to find that space. And really I find, though, that this step is often forgotten. We look at the class is 60 minutes. Okay, so I need 2 hours in my week. But we kind of forget that we also need to like get there and get ourselves organized and all those different pieces. So it's really important to look at your full amount of time so that way you're really giving yourself the space that you need, and so that way you don't feel frazzled and be like, oh my God, I can't do this. Where'd all my time go? Because you're actually accounting for the full amount of time that you need. So this just helps us plan our lifestyle with sort of more realistic boundaries. And it kind of helps us stick to things a little bit better. Because like I said, we've actually made the time that we need. So step 2 is calculating how much time you actually need to make things happen. Step 3 is to look at the big picture. And I can guarantee you that each and every one of you can find the time that you need in your week to achieve balance no matter how busy you are. It's about priorities. And you're here because you've chosen to prioritize your health and your well-being, so congrats to you. Welcome to your beautiful balanced life. Let's make that happen. So look back at the sheet for step 1, for where all your time is going. See what you can condense or maybe cut back on, or push yourself to try and get done faster. So for me, cleaning bathrooms is kind of the worst. I never have enjoyed this. I don't mind dishes. I like the warm water in my hand, but cleaning bathrooms, I haven't found anything that I like about that yet. So rather than procrastinate or distract myself with music or a show on Netflix or playing on an iPad in the background, I just turn off all distractions and just get it done. And since I did this, cleaning the bathroom takes me about half the amount of time that it used to. I've also found like the best order to do things in and to kind of like batch clean the bathroom so like the windows all get washed at the same time and all that kind of stuff. So if you kind of look at the tasks that are taking you longer than maybe you want them to and see what you can do to make yourself more efficient with it, that can free up a pile of time. And so I also talked about cutting back. So there was a study done 2 years ago. The newest results from last year have not been released yet, but 2 years ago they discovered that the average North American spends 4 hours per day looking at their phone. 4 hours. That's 28 hours per week looking at your phone. And so if you want to know how much time you spend looking at your phone, there's a few more apps that'll do this for you, and I talk about that again in the free resource, so be sure to check that out. But you might actually be surprised how much time you spend looking at your phone screen. Because if you are the average and you do spend 28 hours per week looking at your phone, do you think you could cut that back to 24.5 hours so that you could go to 2 gym classes a week? Probably, right? It sounds a little bit more reasonable now, especially when you like think of, oh gosh, all these other responsibilities that I couldn't possibly get rid of. And now all you have to do is just set a timer so that way you maybe don't look at your phone quite so much. And really that's it. We just need to know where your time is going now, what you want to start doing with your time and how much time that's actually going to take, the whole section of it, and then what you're going to do to adjust and make room for this. Easier said than done, I know, but you want to be healthier, and that's why you're here. So baby steps. Start off by figuring out where your time goes this week, and then keep following the steps with a free resource, and you'll be well on your way to start motivating yourself and creating space in your life for those healthy activities that you actually want to do. And I use this exact process for me, and that's why even with full-time 12-hour shift work, running my online business, keeping up with all the responsibilities at home and planning a wedding and taking care of myself, I can still exercise, eat well,